Hello there and welcome to another episode in my Citroen Relay van build series. In this episode we're going to make a start on panelling out the inside. This has seemed a very long time coming. The preparations have seemed to take just forever. But anyway, we're moving on. And what I am going to be using around most of the sides, certainly in the middle sections, like this through the middle section here, on the back doors, and around here as well, and also on the pillars up around the top, down the other side, and also around at the front. If I just turn you around, so up around the edge here, the section across the top there, down that side, across here, and some bits around the door is Solway panels from Solway camper conversions. Behind me here you can see one of the back door ones, and that's the one we're going to be making a start on today. So let me just take you into the depths of the garage here, and what I have is a complete set, complete pack of panels from Solway. So this is their sort of special offer pack that they do. It's horribly expensive for what's essentially a load of plastic, but still, it is what it is, and nothing you can do about that. So this is all the various edge and corner pieces, and that's the main panels under there. So on the back door, this is the sort of main masterpiece that goes in the middle, and you can see where the recess bit is for the window, and then there's another separate panel that goes on the bottom. Okay, so this piece is going to effectively sit in there like so, and obviously we need to cut a hole for where the window is going to be. There's another separate panel that is going to go down the bottom here, and like I say, this is designed really for the H2 vans, which is why it finishes here. Actually you can get a good idea of how much taller this is, look, because that little cutout there on the H2 van is that for that bit there. So I'm going to have to be a little bit creative with making another piece to go in the top here, but I've got a plan for that, because the bigger panels at the front are going to have quite a big piece cut out where the windows are going to be. So I'm thinking I'm going to be able to reshape and reuse those pieces to fill in this bit at the top here. That's the plan anyway. So first job first, I think, is going to be to mark and cut out the hole for where the window is going to be, and then after that we're going to get some insulation stuffed in the various places and get this fixed on. So let's do that right now. Okay, so I'm around the back of the van now. Harry's doing a good job of holding this in place. I've never done this before, so this is new territory for me, but what I'm thinking I'm going to do is with my pencil, first things first is to mark around here of where the recess actually is going to sit. So let me do that first. Hopefully this pencil will mark this. Yeah, not too bad. Okay, so I've just got the panel outside, and here's my mark of the shape of where the window is. And if I go inside, what we need to do now is this is the internal blind and fly screen which comes with the windows, which came from Magnum Motorhomes, and the recess on there sits around the lip on the window. But what I've noticed is when we put that in position, it sits on the outside, not the inside, like so. I'll show you there. So it goes around the outside like that. So my hole needs to be actually slightly bigger than this lip on here. So let's offer this on the top of where I've drawn, and mark that round. Actually, that's quite difficult to mark that because this sort of wobbles all over the place. But over this side, we've got about a centimetre or so, and the same over this side, we've got about a centimetre. So I think what I'm going to do is actually just add a centimetre and a smidge all the way round and draw a line myself, and then cut to that. Because if I turn this over, here's the lip here, but actually there's loads of play under here. So if the Solway panel actually comes back around here, that's still absolutely fine. There's plenty of coverage. You're never gonna see that. So let's mark that now. Right, well, the old saying of measure twice and cut once has never been truer. In fact, with Solway panels being so expensive, I think measure 5 times and cut once is probably the way. What I discovered before, luckily, I'd cut the hole, is this pattern here didn't quite line up with this one. It seemed a bit lower, and then I discovered that actually these things have got quite a bit of play on them. So after offering into position the one for the other side and comparing the two, actually this needs to be held up like that, so that this all matches up. So I'm going to go around and redo my lines and start again. And hey, I don't mind admitting my cock-ups, but luckily I called it before I'd cut the hole. So let's try again. Right, so I've double checked my measurements, and I think I'm just about ready to cut this hole. So in for a penny, in for a pound. Let's crack on and do it. It's only £80 worth of plastic, so no pressure whatsoever. Well, that was like a knife through butter, that was. How weird is that? As I've cut it around, because it's warm outside today, it's actually melted back together. I can't get that out. How odd. I think I'll have to get a Stanley blade into that. Well, that was really bizarre. I went around that 3 times with the jigsaw, and every time it kept sealing up behind me because the plastic got hot. So I had to get the Stanley knife in there in the end, so I've ended up with a right old messy edge here. So anyway, never mind. Let's get the old file out and see if we can tidy this up a bit. Right, here we go. The moment of truth. Is this smug mode? Or is this delete the footage and buy another one and start again? Let's have a look. Okay, that's good. Actually, if anything, I was a little bit too tight with my measuring. I didn't take enough out, which is always frustrating when that happens, but you're always nervous, aren't you, of taking too much. And let me just mark where I need to take some more. And then this side. Okay. So what we're after there is this little gap here, for that to fit into. It's not going to fit in at the top, so I need to take a bit more. But I think the idea is then that will slot in there nicely, and you end up with that. So the idea is that I just tried to be a bit too tight with that first cut, and need to just trim a little bit more off. So back to the jigsaw and the melting again then.
3 hours later.
Okay, so my 2 rear doors are now done. Well, the piece in the middle is done anyway, and I think that's looking okay. So one thing I'm going to need to do is cut a piece to go in the top here, because I've got the H3 style van, but I knew that because I asked Solway panels before I ordered, and they told me these weren't going to be tall enough, and you had to put an extra piece in the top. So that's okay, I was aware of that. And so then with my window piece on this one, I've given myself a little bit more of a gap all the way around, and now my window blind, it's a little awkward doing this with one hand, but that very easily clips in there like so. And I'll just show you from this side. So then on the inside, the two pieces go together and cover all the joins, and around the outside my cut is all covered as well. I just need to apply the corners on, which fixes it all together, and yeah, that's going to look absolutely fine. I'm going to leave those off for now because these panels may need to come off again yet, just in case I need to do anything. So I've got the bottom piece to put in, but that just basically takes the place of the original black piece that would have been there when the van came. And then I've got the sides and the piece across the top to do. The sides are again a little short. I'll try and offer that in there as best I can. Hopefully it won't fall over. Anyway, you get the idea. So that's going to cover there. But it comes out the same height as the door, so again I'm going to have to fill in with a little piece just in there, and the same on the other side. And the piece across the top is also designed actually for a H2 van, which means it's a little bit long in actual fact, because this van curves in a bit more at the top. Right, it's day 2 on these back doors, and I've made a little bit more progress and pretty much finished apart from my little fill-in job. So the door panels on, and the blinds are fixed in the corners just with some screws. I'm going to leave the actual trim corners off until right at the very end. And this now operates quite nicely. So this comes down like so, and the fly screen comes up from the bottom. So happy with that. I've got the bottom panel on. The side panel is fixed and tucks in behind the door trim like this. And I found actually on this one just 1, 2, 3 screws is actually enough. That's holding there quite nicely. And I've done the same on the other side, and the bottom panel on the other side as well. And I've also fitted my top panel. So what I've had to do here is, because it has holes here where the door brackets fit in, couldn't really interfere too much with the middle section there. So what I've done is, because this was too long, because it's designed for a H2, is I've cut it right near the edge here. And this piece will actually slide out at the moment. I will fix that in time, but you can see how much of an overlap I'm getting there as to how much narrower the H3 is right at the top than H2. So what I'm going to do is that will tuck in behind there and line up, and then when the wall cupboard goes on here, that's going to cover that join anyway, so that should be absolutely fine. And I've done the same on the other side as well, so the two pieces just overlap. And after a quick phone call to Solway Panels and speaking to one of their main guys, I've sussed out how to cut this stuff, and let me show you. Right, so when I rang Solway Panels and asked them about it, when I cut these window pieces out to fit the windows, you can see I've got a really rough jaggedy edge here, and that's because I was using this HSS like hacksaw blade in the jigsaw, and as I was going round, the two pieces were welding themselves back together because of the heat. And I thought, this is blooming stupid, because every bone in your body in common sense says use as fine a blade as possible. So I rang Solway and they went, no, what you need to do is use one of these. which is a really sharp, fierce wood cutting bit, and that makes a nice clean cut. I thought, well, you're having me on there, but here's a sample piece that I cut off of a scrap, and yeah, funny enough, look at that, you get a nice clean cut on both sides. So top tip of the day, if you're going to use Solway panels, is don't use a hacksaw blade, use a really fierce wood cutting blade, and that will do the trick nicely. So I think that wraps up episode 1 of the Solway Panels part. Right, I hope you've enjoyed that video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you found that interesting and informative. Please remember to like and subscribe if you're enjoying this van build series, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot, and bye for now.